I got into financial planning probably in my early 20s. It's kind of always been something that's kind of been in my life. I particularly remember when I was much younger, my pop, my mum's side, invested in shares. I particularly remember being at his place. Not only did he enjoy betting on horses, but also particularly enjoyed, he had a share portfolio. So I often see him checking the newspaper, the stock prices and bits and pieces, and learning a little bit about it at that early stage. When he passed, in fact, my mum inherited the shares, and I started to get a bit more education process around that to understand what shares were and why they worked. In school, I did some business subjects and particularly good at maths, and entered the accounting profession. And I worked in accounting for about 5 or 6 years with a little bit of exposure to financial planning and a few different roles. But after doing accounting purely for that long and working really with big businesses, I kind of decided that exactly wasn't giving me the job or the work fulfillment that I really was desired. So I transitioned across and focused on the accounting side, particularly with individuals, either trying to buy their first house, retire, sell the businesses, that kind of stuff. And from there, really involved in financial planning, did some studies, really got a bit of interest in it and pursued that a bit more, and went on and did further degrees and studies in the financial planning space. And since then have really enjoyed that, and that's a passion, and that's what my business has been built on. Why I do what I do is to help people, quite simply. Through my knowledge and experience, I can make the really complex issues for people really simple. Whether that's sorting out their super, trying to sell their business, inheriting some money and deciding what to do with it, trying to retire, it's helping people achieve what they want to achieve. And often I find talking with different people, their goals can be very different depending on their circumstances and situations. So I like sitting down with people, meeting them, understanding who they are, trying to figure out where they're at, where they're trying to get to, and whether I can help them get there. Yeah, so outside of the office, which everyone, we live on the Central Coast, which is a beautiful part of the world. And so my wife and I live near the beach. We've got a young family that we try and spend time with. And so as much as possible, I love spending time with them. Outside of that, I'm a massive sports fan, playing, supporting, attending, following, whether it's soccer, basketball, cricket, you name it. In the Olympics, I'm across most sports, so happy to have a chat about any of that stuff. And more recently, I've got a real passion for fitness, particularly the CrossFit style weightlifting type of stuff. So often you'll find me, I've got most mornings now, I'm at the gym, trying to keep fit and look after myself. I found planning as a term can transition to across a lot of other parts of your life. And one of those is the fitness world, whether it's being tracking what you're eating, kind of like tracking money in a budget, whether it's setting a plan about where you want to get to. A lot of the gym stuff I do involves weightlifting, like you see in the Olympics, the clean and jerk and the snatches. And so a lot of it's figuring out where you are, where you want to get to, and then progressively stepping and taking plans to make sure you get there, which really is not that dissimilar of a time in terms of where you are, where you want to get to, what do we need to get done between now and then. Both of I enjoy. I do enjoy throwing some heavy weights around, but I also enjoy sitting down with people and figuring out how to put money into their super and that kind of stuff. It's a great question. I get a lot of positive feedback. I get a lot of referrals from people, which is awesome, and I thank them for that. I think a lot of the feedback I get is that I'm a person and I care, which often is a bit different to perhaps the way other people conduct their business. But more importantly, I can talk about fairly complex issues and complex scenarios and really break them down for people to understand what they do. And so I really try and focus on, I've got a real emphasis on the more that somebody understands something, the more they're going to trust it and understand it. So rather than me saying, here's your solution, it's the best, let me go away and do it, I really try and sit down to someone and explain, here are your options, these are some pros, these are some cons, this is what I think. I'll always give someone my thoughts and opinion because that's what they're asking for. But importantly, I'll make sure that they understand what's involved so that they can own it and trust it along the way. really try and empower them to be part of the process. Because at the end of the day, it's helping them with their retirement and it's their journey. So it's important that they've got an understanding and trust in the process. I'm already planning for my retirement now because I believe that the earlier you start, the better retirement you're going to get. So that includes putting money in super. So I actually practice what I preach, whereas I often see a lot of other planners who don't, and you often hear about the plumber with the leaky tap. If you look at my finances, you'll understand that they're on path with the advice I'm giving to clients. I think retirement's a journey and not a destination. And therefore, in some respects, I feel like I'm already retired now because I do enjoy what I do. And I've got a young family I want to spend too. Working with people and speaking to people and getting feedback from people, they don't just want to get to 60 or 65 or 70, retire and enjoy that. It's important to make sure you enjoy that process the whole way along. So, yeah, I'm still working full time and I operate my business and I want to operate my business and I'm going to continue to do that for years and years and years because I really enjoy what I do and working with people. But also, my wife and I travel already. We try and have a trip at least every year or 2 years with ourselves and with our family. We want to continue to do that. Where we can, we spend time with friends and family and all that kind of stuff's important. We're not workaholics. So retirement, I don't know what it looks like exactly for me in 30, 40 years time or whatever the retirement age is when I get there, but I know that I'm planning for my future now.